we want to talk about building a boat. So we want to design a boat. First, draw it on paper and get some ideas with dimensions and kind of general shape that you want to be. And then we're going to 3D print this. So we're going to go to Tinkercad.com and get in here. Now, if you've got other 3D design software, obviously you'll want kids using that. But if you don't, Tinkercad's a great, easy to use 3D software. As with everything in Tinkercad, it's about putting shapes together, merging them, and then also subtracting parts from them to get the shape you want, using negative space to create things. You can be very simple. You kind of want to get the general shape, and then you can enlarge it or make the dimensions exactly where they want. You can add just pieces together. Again, a boat's got to have some sides. It's got to have, I'll do two sides. Try not to grab things that are corners to move. I need a bigger bottom that's a little bit shorter. Pay attention to your dimensions. One of the good clues to use is to bring the ruler over to your work plane and drop it anywhere, and therefore the dimensions kind of always show up. And I want these to be, we're not going to merge them yet, so they're about the same. Make them the same size with the numbers. You can click in also, you can click in the numbers to make them the exact size that you want. So for example, this one is, let's pull this out a little bit so we can see it better. 19 tall, 109 this way. How far is it that way? 73 millimeters. And down here at a grid, you can change to inches or centimeters, millimeters, and then you can also change how much your arrow keys will move you by, which is very nice. So we went 70 on that. Again, 70. I'm just going to make things the same size for now. This is just one way to make a boat, just putting things together. I want them to line up in the front. So I go to my align tool and line them up in the front. And then I want to make sure that I've mashed them together. So I don't want them spaced apart. I want them to go together to form a solid. If you can't always tell, you kind of, I think I need a little more. Yeah, now it's in, so it's not going to leave a gap. And then I want to group them. Well, now this obviously needs a front. That's nice, but we need a front to it. So again, you're going to put shapes together and subtract. I haven't showed you subtract yet, though. Just think that that's got a front to it, because I want to show you subtract. Now, actual flat bottom boat is not the best thing to have. Yeah, it won't work well. So I'm going to want to angle these sides, cut off these sides, chamfer the sides. So I'm going to grab I don't want the roof. I want, what do I want? Oh, I want the wedge. That's what I want. I want the wedge. And I want to, because I want to use this as negative space. Here's always the hardest part for me is where's the angle? And it went the wrong way. So, you edit, undo. All right, come on. The turn and the sides are linked. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. I want this wedge. Now, this wedge I need to make longer than the whole thing, and it doesn't matter how much long, because I'm going to make that a hole. And now what I want to do is I want to bring it over and stick it in. You see how it's kind of getting a little gray over here? That means it's cutting off. So now I'm going to group these two. So I just did a select all. And I'm going to group them. And you see how I now have angled sides to a boat. So that's an important piece. And you're going to want to cut out holes in places in depths and angles and things. That's one simple way to do it. Now, if you don't like chamfer and you want it more rounded, it's actually a multi-step process if you want rounded. I kind of got to make a rounded thing. I need a box and I need a cylinder. And my cylinder is going to be a hole right now. I kind of want to get the cylinder right on the. This is one thing I don't like about Tinkercad is I can't pan this up. I want that cylinder to be right on the center of the cylinder to be on the corner of the rectangle. And I want it to be a hole. And then I'm going to group these two. Now I want it to be on the center on the corner just so it's an equal arc. If you don't want an equal arc, you can make it a not equal arc. Now the dimensions of this thing don't matter so much. We can make it a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. But again, notice I'm changing the size of that arc. And I want to make this whole thing a hole. If you want to make it, keep it a square, keep it a square. I'm going to bring this over here. Now here's the fun part. I got to rotate this. I also got to make it bigger. I can make it bigger later. I need to rotate this so that, all right, now almost, nope, I got to rotate it this way. Now you didn't catch me, did you? Where are you? Okay, don't just turn you. How about that? There we go. Nope, I need 180. Come on, give me 180. That's what I want. I want this hole to be able to line up to there. Now, I obviously have to make that hole longer because I need it to go beyond. And now I kind of go from the side, and my hole is up in the air for some reason, probably with my rotation. So I got to drop it down onto the plane, that 0 there. And now I'm going to, now I want to drop it down even farther. Well, don't do that. I hate when I accidentally grab another corner. Okay, I want to drop this down even farther because I want it to, I need the edge of the hole, the edge of this arc on the hole to be at the bottom of my boat. That's pretty close to the bottom of my boat. How's this? I also want this edge of the arc to be on the side of the boat. Now I'm going to group those two. It doesn't matter if the hole's below because the hole's going to go away. Ta-da! So there was how to get a rounded edge. Now we'll show you one more thing. I'm gonna, let's see here. I'm gonna get rid of all this and then just bring out, if you just take a big block, you can make your boat out of the block. You could round the bottom. You could round this bottom. You could use the wedge to cut off the front on an angle. I'll do that. Again, the hardest part is rotating these things so they are the direction you want them facing. All right, let me rotate. That goes that way. And now I need this to go. I'll try this one. I'm always bad at picking. Nope, I went the wrong way. I'm always bad at picking which angle I want to rotate. I want to turn this one. I want to turn it up. Not 80. I want 90. There we go. Now I've got to rotate this way. Cheapers. And it's right it's right underneath at 21. Okay, fine, be that way. So if I turn it out, there we go. All right, so I've got this wedge. Got to make sure I want to make sure it's taller. I want to make it a hole. I group them. So there I cut off. Oh my gosh, really? All right. Again, make sure it's reaching everywhere. So I got to lower it down below. It wasn't cutting off the whole bottom. Somehow it got raised up in all my rotations. So I just stuck the hole below the work plane. Ta-da! All right. Now imagine I did that the other side too. And I could have a boat. Except here there's no place to put my cargo. So here's a neat little trick. Take your boat and copy it. All right, so there's a copy of my boat. Now you got to make it just a little bit smaller. And it can be taller, which is fine. But I need to make it just a little bit smaller than, I always have trouble with zoom right. So 31 across. I'm going to make it, let's see, 27. And that'll give me 2 millimeters on each side. And this 55, I'm going to make 51. And that'll give me 2 millimeters on each side. Why do I say 2 millimeters when I just deleted, when I just got rid of 4? Because I'm going to center them up. Center and center. I'm going to center them up, and the inside one's going to be a hole. I forgot to do something. Silly me. I need to raise it up to get it off the ground. And I'll raise it up 2 or 3. So I raised it up 2 to get it off the ground. Now this will work. So by making the inside one 51, that gave me 2 on the back end, 2 on the front end. That's why I said I made 2. So that's a neat way to make to hollow it out. Just copy your shape, make it a little bit smaller, make it a hole, center them up, but don't forget to raise it up a little bit. So there's some ideas for making a boat. Have fun. Thank you.